selected the retailer, so my bad in the last video, I apologize profusely, what. Basically, the moment you do an average or a max or something like that, you are squishing things into one record. Now, I can't display anything that I don't group by, meaning that everything that is the same will be grouped together. So if I say group by description, everything has got a unique description, so it really wouldn't group anything, it would just display all of them each individually. Whereas if I group by retailer, I'm then squishing all retailers together to get average. So if I said max price, I would get the maximum price of each retailer. I can't now display something like description because it's not an if statement or a condition or whatnot. If I wanted to do that, I would have to order by and display top one or whatnot. Or you'd have to do it IIFs and things like that. That gets a bit more confusing. IIFs I'm not going to go through right now. I'll go through that later. Yeah, but it's just the way if statements are run through it. It's slightly different to normal ifs, but not much. All right. Now, moving on from there, there's a count. A count function is also commonly one asked. Like for example, what if I want to count what if I wanted to count the number of items requested by Emily and Ryan?
So you're asking us because you don't know, or because
yes, you're right. I do not know how many items Emily and Ryan and Harold Grant have ordered. Yeah. So when I go here and I say count. When you count something, you are counting the number of records. Now, very, very important. You have to either count by a star or by ID. Why do I, by the actual, I'm going to just suggest you guys to count by a star. But if you count item ID, now it's a composite key. So I'll just work with star. From TBL gifts, and we would say where couple ID is equal to 1. Now what that's going to do is it's going to display to me the number of gifts that a couple 1 wanted to purchase. So if I run this now, there's 19 gifts that Ryan wants to purchase. So count just literally counts the number of gifts. These were different gifts, not total quantity of gifts. Does that make sense? If I want a total quantity, so in other words, it's a total requested physical items that they want, you'd have to then go sum requested quantity. Do you guys get the difference?
yeah.
So now when I do that, you'll see there's 44. So they've requested 19 different items, because that's a count. A count will say how many different items they want. A sum adds together. So if they requested 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 and so forth. Do you guys get the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know I've kind of blotched a bit of the explanation of this, but average, min, max, it will deal specifically. When you are displaying anything else other than that, you need to group by that, otherwise you will not be able to display it from there. So it's quite important to have that. And if you are wanting to limit something according to the average score, so in this case, if I wanted to select all couples that are requesting more than 50, so I can say where, that was when I would say having some requested. Let's just display it without this just to see what each item is wanting. So let's run it. Whoa, that's a lot. So let's just go first here now. Let's say group by couple ID. So now when I run this, you'll see there that these are the different total number of items requested by different items. Now let's say if I wanted to display all couples who wanted more than one item. So more than 40 items, let's say. I then would say having some open brackets requested quantity. And if I run that. Now very important is greater than 40. 39, let's say. Now, sorry, just you see, sort of limit it according. So if I'm doing a condition based on an aggregate function, you have to use the having, not where. Do you guys get that? Where is if you're not doing it on any other field. Having is when you're doing it on a conditional form, aggregate function. So before I continue, one thing I wanted to briefly discuss on this. There is a lot of SQL code here, and you see, I've told you before, this is important. This over here, where I say selected fields from tables, the order of events that is important. So in other words, I can't have a having before group by or an order by. I can't have an order by before group by. I can't have a where before in a join. Do you guys get me? So the order in which you do events, so literally this select order is one of the most important things. Now, this is finished with regards to the select statement. Literally, with only going over what we've gone through now, you can ask tricky queries where it is quite difficult to get right, but they all follow these rules. This table right here is the important table to remember in SQL. The rest you can just logically work out and apply the structure, and comes with practice. Now, an insert is very easy, and this is bonus marks. The only tricky thing, so now insert is literally how to add information into there. So for example, if I wanted to add a couple, I would just go insert, that's not how you spell insert into TBL couples, open brackets, couple. Now here's quite important. Do you see that there's a couple ID here, right? Yes, no? Maybe. Couple ID is an order number. So do I include that in my insert?
Probably.
No. The reason why is because the computer automatically generates it. So I do not need to stipulate that. Do you guys get that? So if I say couple ID, couples. Okay, so if I say couples, TBL couples, I want bride name, comma, groom name, comma, wedding date, values, open brackets, bride name, give me a bride's name.
Michelle. Jenna.
Jenna.
Michelle.
The husband name. Okay. When are you two getting married?
The 26th of March.
26th of March, okay. Now, the date one is important. Date you have to have with inside hashes. So, 26 / am I invited?
No.
Okay. Especially not now. Okay. 2018. I'm going to put a hashtag at the end of there, close brackets. And then what you'll see is that when I run this now, unknown function. Oh, groom name. Turns out I can't spell groom. Ground. Wait. Back when I got married, I was a ground. Now, when you run this, you'll see it'll ask you. A ground. Or groom. So now it says, are you sure about a pen one row? We go yes. And what you'll notice, it doesn't show you, guys, it doesn't show you here immediately, but if I close it and reopen it, you'll see there's Jenna and Dylan. Oh, so sweet. Okay, now from there, now moving on, guys, is there anything difficult? The only thing that potentially is difficult about that, one, take a look at these core functions. I can insert something. What would now plus 365 insert?
The day from now plus 360 is the anniversary.
So it'll be next year. Do you guys get that? So that would per se. Now, if a question asks you, make sure it inserts in the future, right, or in whatever time from today's date. It's referring to specifically now, which means whatever date the query is run on, that it will be able to run on. Updates are also quite easy, and I'm actually going to go through a more complicated update because, quite frankly, also deletes are easy. I'm going to go through a bit more complicated an update. I'm going to say update TBL, and I think this is a question that they have. TBL gifts set enable available. Do you check that there's a field available there, right? Equal to true where bought quantity is less than requested quantity. Can you guys understand? Look at this table. Why at the moment everything's false? Do you understand why I'd run the update? In other words, it is available for purchase if it has not been bought out yet. Does this make sense, guys?
Yeah, so everything's been bought out.
At the moment it says everything is not available. But, for example, this item is available, this item is not available, this item is not available. So what should be happening is this query should update the records to show all items that are available that should be available. Do you guys get that? So now if I were to run this, the buyer's quote, if I were to run this, you'll see that it says you're about to update. I don't want to update the database because I think it's a question in your guys' test to do that. But you'll see you can do complicated updates on there. I'm not going to do it because I don't have to go back and change all of them back to false, so you can run the query for the methods when you guys are practicing. Okay, goodbye guys. The buyer's gone. Enjoy your day.